My name is Nsiimenta Martha, and today I'm going to talk about a very sensitive topic that affects us all. This topic is none other than corruption, under the theme transparency, accountability, anti-corruption. Peter, go to the market and bring me tomatoes. I'm sure with this economy, each tomato must be at 300 shillings. A mother sends her son to the market to buy tomatoes, but by good luck, Peter finds each tomato being sold at 100 shillings. So what does this boy decide to do? He decides to run off and buy sweets with his mother's change. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that was a form of corruption? Corruption is generally the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. So with that definition, we can say that what Peter did was a form of corruption. It is such small incidents like these which, if uncorrected, result into the big incidents of corruption that we see in the government offices, that we see in other positions of power. Today, allow me to talk about corruption with specific attention to the education sector. One may wonder, why education? Of all sectors, why choose the education sector? John F. Kennedy, a very intellectual person, once said that our progress as a nation can be no swifter than our progress in education. The human mind is a fundamental resource. So, education is a cornerstone in the development of the country. So how does corruption manifest in the education sector? 1. When funds that are meant to buy resources to be used in the school, for example, in terms of payment of teachers' salary, in terms of buying children's food, when such funds are embezzled, it results into teachers not being paid, it results into provision of inferior educational services because of embezzlement of funds. Another way of corruption is teachers being underpaid or sometimes even being not paid at all. And how does this happen? Sometimes teachers sign contracts and along the way their payment is delayed. Sometimes they are not paid. This is a form of corruption that undermines the teachers' power and the effort that they have put in their work. It also makes them lose morale to do their work. Another form of corruption is the use of school requirements for private gain. When I talk about school requirements, I simply mean the squeezers, scrubbing, brushes, brooms, toilet paper that children are asked to bring on a timely basis. When children bring these requirements, some schools even go ahead to sell these for private gain. Ladies and gentlemen, when these requirements are sold, it reduces the resources that are to be used in the school. Corruption is a very bad act. It affects even the people who practice it, but in ways they do not realize. Corruption is actually born out of greed, the desire of one to get more than what they actually have at the expense of other people. So what can we do? As a youth, what can you do to prevent corruption? Thomas M. V. Cornell once said that if one has the courage to fight the corruption inside, they'll be strong enough to fight the corruption around them. So, this is a challenge to all the youth out there, all the youth that have been entrusted with resources, or that have been entrusted with authority. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme encourages us to be transparent and accountable. If we can make it a point not to tolerate corruption around us, if we can be honest enough in the things that we do on a daily basis, then believe me, corruption will not have a place in Uganda. Let the fight of corruption start with you. Not with your neighbor, not with your parents or your friends. No, the fight starts with you. If you do your part and I do mine, and if everyone does not tolerate corruption in any simple way, then corruption will not have a place in Uganda. Then, what can the government do to help us? The teachers who are youths who are participating in teaching in these government and private schools, when they are cheated like this in terms of salary payment, it really demoralizes them. I appeal to the government to set a certain level that teachers should not be paid less than this amount of money. It means that they'll come with confidence that they are backed by the government to do their work and they will not be cheated when it comes to salary payment. So if the government can do that, I believe that the teachers will not even be pushed to steal from the school requirements or to do anything that can jeopardize the development of the school. Corruption affects us all, and I leave you with a challenge. Be accountable, be transparent, and be honest in every single thing you do. If you do your part and I do mine, and if everyone takes part in this fight against corruption, then it will not have a place in our country. Thank you very much. For God and my country.